Chelsea fans understandably very frustrated with the club at the moment for only signing teenagers and no seniority, experienced quality. But maybe they'll make an exception for this guy.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, what's poppin', friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on everything that's being said about Chelsea, giving you my thoughts, feelings, opinions on it, for whatever it's worth. More importantly, asking for yours. Tell you something, mate. I'm a Chelsea fan. That would be very, very excited should Chelsea land Dean Howson, a player, of course, many Premier League giants / Real Madrid are after. And Miguel Delaney, old Migs, as his peers call him, has wrote on The Independent. We've been offered an advantage. Chelsea leading the race for the 19-year-old superb defender, who of course has a release clause that many clubs are prepared to pay. So it would be a decision made by the player, by all accounts. We're going to get into it today. I've already uploaded a video reacting to the Abramovich story. Of course, he's spoken to Nick Puel. Massive get for the journalist to write a book on him. I'm going to certainly pre-order that. So do go check out that upload if you're yet to view it. Of course, there is daily content here on Football Therapy. In some cases, certainly over the summer months, multiple videos per day. So why not subscribe and hit the bell notifications icon should you want to support ya boy. Alright, mate, then let's hop in. So like I said, this is on The Independent. Chelsea offered advantage over Premier League rivals in race for £50 million Bournemouth star. We're going to look at his stats on X value in just a moment after we reference and cite this article as well. Don't you worry. So, let's call him Migs. We're all friends here, Migs. He's wrote this, or written. Chelsea have taken the lead. Choo-choo! All aboard the hype transfer train. In pursuit of Bournemouth's Dean Howson, as they hope to complete a deal before the Club World Cup. Now remember, guys, there is a special transfer window this summer because of the Club World Cup. So, yeah, get deals done before, because obviously we'll be away in America playing that tournament. If possible, Chelsea Football Club would like to get business done quickly. By all accounts, this guy could be one of them. Before we get into this, I have been an advocate of bringing in some seniority near the back. I really like the idea of bringing in Mark Guehi, a 25-year-old Crystal Palace captain, who I think hasn't got long left on his contract himself. He'd be a great leader at the back. But there's this idea that, although he's only a teenager, and yes, he's had one good season, that Dean Howson is a little bit special. And maybe being a teenager himself, he's buying into this, I'll just grow up with this Chelsea generation of superb teenagers, rather than going to a Liverpool team where everyone's really old, and what's going to happen in 5 years when I'm in my peak and all these men have gone. So let's read on. The 19-year-old is understood to now be seriously considering Chelsea, who are one of many major clubs pursuing the centre-back. Of course, he's Dutch-born, hence the name, but he's a Spanish international, of course, already made his debut for the Spain first team, which, by the way, has a plethora of elite talent. You don't have to remind me, an Englishman, that they are champions of Europe, Spain, and he has got, he's already made his debut, and hence Real Madrid being interested. But apart from Real Madrid, the Premier League suitors are champions-elect Liverpool, the second place All-Stars Arsenal Football Club, who of course will have money to spend, and a sickening notion could win the Champions League this season. And, PIF, Saudi-owned Newcastle United, who are, up until recently, were the form team in the Premier League. Look like they're going well, have some good youngsters, though, a lot of old players as well. And, of course, should the PSR rules change in the Premier League, which some suspect they might, clubs like Newcastle United with bottomless money pits might come into serious power again. We'll see what happens. Real Madrid are interested, but apparently at the moment the Premier League teams the Premier League giants are more likely to make a move. I understand him as a player. I know he was making kissy faces towards Real Madrid. He's a Spanish international. It's Real Madrid. It's how it works. So let's have a look here. Chelsea, that's us, are willing to offer a package that could make up a 7-year contract. Oh, shock horror. And there would almost certainly be a +1, I speculate, on top of that 7-year offering, with Howson fitting into their strategy of signing the most promising young players in football. Great. And while that's great, your Estivals, your Kenders, your Pieses, your Penders, your Santoses, the list goes on, and they might all come good, with one major highlighted issue this season, or one issue that this season has highlighted, should I say, is that the lack of experience and the immaturity in the squad kind of has come home to roost, in my opinion. That's no matter what you do, even though you're expecting and hoping that the current Chelsea squad will grow older. I mean, they will grow older, that's science, but they will become better. I am still an advocate of bringing in some experience and 90. But look, I'm not going to pretend like I wouldn't be gassed on Dean Howson because he looks mustard, mate. He looks wicked. So yes, the defender has quickly evolved in one of the Premier League's standout centre-halves, and has even made his international, of course, debut for Spain, having switched from the Netherlands. Probably quite. I mean, it's a great choice to have, isn't it? But yeah, a 19-year-old, you switch to the European champ. I mean, Spain are just the best at the moment, aren't they? Probably in Europe, I'd say. Such a move would form what is already set to be another busy for Chelsea. I'm imagining busy summer or transfer window. Miguel Delaney, who's your editor? Partly due to the squad's needs and partly due to profit and sustainability rules. Interesting. They are also looking at forward positions, Chelsea. There's expected to be considerable change in defence. Really worth mentioning at this point. I haven't had an opportunity yet. Samuel Smith has extended with Chelsea. And that's a real good, basically showing that they believe in the young left back, and that I guess maybe he can play the inverted role Maresca wants him to play, but that he's genuinely like going to be considered in the Chelsea first team. So that's interesting. Considerable changes in defence though. What does that mean? 2 centre backs, Howson and a leader? Question mark. And yeah, Bournemouth are expected to make loads of peas by selling Howson, Semenyo, and Kirkes. I mean, if you're a Bournemouth fan, you'll be fuming. As Andoni Iraola, how's he going to feel about all that as well? And Liverpool, Man United also looking at Semenyo, interestingly. Let's move on and talk about the stats of Howson. Right. Leading the race? Have we won it? Have we somehow, yet again, convinced a young talent to come to Chelsea, though on the pitch we haven't looked overly convincing? Possibly. Let's take a look at him on X Value. Dean Howson. There he is. His little face. Ball stopper. Very much a defender's defender here. Good key metrics by cluster here. There's highlighted ones are defensive aerials, clearances, blocks, tackles. Very strong. Left-sided, his heat map, as you can see here, up there. Very much a left-sided defender, so Levi Cole sweating. Badiashile out of here. I mean, where is Badiashile, bro? He's 20 years old. He will turn 20. He's just turned... Wait, no. He is 20. He's just turned 20. So why are they calling him a 19-year-old? Anyway, he's very young. It looks like he's turned 20 on the 14th of this month. Anyway, he's a very young player. What I like to see, incredibly good at passing as a centre-back and good at aerials. Something to aim for in both boxes on defending and attacking set pieces. But wait, there's more. Let's look at his advanced statistics to further contextualize this young player. Okay, so shooting Right, so this is versus centre-backs. He's not a goal-scoring centre-back per se, but if you look at his polar chart here, for a young player, this is very, very well balanced. What do we like to see? His tackles win percentage is very strong. His expected goals blocked is exceptionally strong. His interceptions is exceptionally strong. His aerial win percentage is good. Short passes, sure, but this is almost certainly part of a stylistic thing from Andoni Iraola. And I'm not entirely sure what expected goals for is low. Okay, so shooting, yeah, you're not really relying on your centre-back to score. Chance creation, not particularly high, but you go to progression, which is important for Maresca football. And expected threats from passes, he's in the top 4% of all centre-backs across Europe, despite being a youngster playing for Bournemouth. Huge. Expected threat, which is how you help the attack, a sort of aggregated statistic. Very, very strong, despite being a nipper as well. Duels, his duels are strong, defensive aero, and guys, aero is aerial ELO rating optimization. And if that doesn't get you all hot and flustered, nothing will. And defensive actions, percentage of XG blocked. There's no one better, baby. He will stop the goals going in your net, but he will also pass the ball well. Why don't I have a transition there? Ergo, a very good footballer. Look, let's be real. He is a hipster's footballer. He just simply is a hipster's footballer. All the kids, all the stats, Tactico kids on social media. This is sorry, I was just reading something. This is one for them. Again, personally, I liked the idea of bringing in some senior centre-back that can put his foot on the ball and calm down the children. You know, of course, we looked at Kim Min-jae from Bayern Munich, once of Napoli. There are other centre-backs out there. Of course, the David Ornstein that kept us talking about, well, Chelsea were looking at Van Dijk. I must say, I've been reading through your comments about Ornstein, and I said in the video when I was reacting to his transfer stories that it felt a bit fishy. A lot of you guys followed up on that and sort of feel like, yeah, he's kind of being presented as a mouthpiece for the Chelsea owners. And I mean, I tend to sort of agree, like with how it's coming across, like, especially since that I listened to him. I really like the Athletic Football podcast when they do segments, because I really like listening to, especially Liam Twomey, probably similar age to me, mid-30s, and he speaks, you know, not to defend managers, despite what people think, managers or you know, owners or whatever structure. He has got a very balanced and neutral view, and a lot of empathy towards the Chelsea fans as well in their position. So I kind of align my thoughts with him. But both him and Ornstein were on, and Liam was being very balanced and being like, yeah, you know, this is what's happening with Maresca and the fans, and you understand it. And then Ornstein, whenever he spoke, it did feel like, yeah, a public relations campaign, like, other teams are really impressed with Chelsea. You just think, shut up. You feel like, even if they are paying him, he's laying it on too thick, mate. I do still really like David Ornstein as a reporter. Historically, the stories that he's broken, he's not got stuff wrong. And in a world of, like, you know, oversaturation with transfer stories, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a reporter. And I don't have any sources. I've never once claimed, over the 6 years I've been doing this, I react to the headlines. I always just react to headlines. I'm a content creator. I'm a Chelsea fan content creator. So, you know, never like at me in terms of pretending to have any knowledge. I just react to headlines. But he, in terms of his stories and the stories that I've reacted to, and indeed just listened to for other clubs as well, he's always got it bang on. Whereas loads of other journalists have just put out crap, basically, if you excuse my French. So yeah, I do really respect his reporting, but yeah, this kind of like, you know, constant verbal spew about why everyone loves the Chelsea hierarchy, and, you know, everyone loves, I mean, you just shut up, mate. It is a bit like, shut up, mate. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, like I said, we'll still react to all the stories here. Dean Howson, look, it'll be hard not to get excited about him because he's one of the most desirable young centre-backs in the world. And as much as we get frustrated with signing, these maybe talents, he's kind of a proven talent in the Premier League, despite it just being one season for Bournemouth. But look, he's playing for Spain already. He made his debut for Spain as a teenager. And they got loads of good footballers, the Spain international team. So, I'd be gassed. Looks like, like I said, Miguel Delaney is essentially suggesting Chelsea are leading the race. And that's pretty exciting. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Seemingly the content flying out the channel at the moment. So if you want to become a part of the community, like and subscribe. Reminder that there's daily content in the second channel, Football Yannick. And man, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the football. Peace.